Hi everybody. Today we're going to make Sayadiyeh in Arabic, and in English it's called fish with rice. So we're going to start off first of all with the fish. There's two ways you can do this. I'm using fillet today. You can actually get a hamour fish or a sea bass, a full like fresh fish. Cut its head off, its tail. Get the like if you're gonna fillet it, and use its bone and make a stock out of it. Okay, so now we're working with a filleted fish. I'm gonna get straight to the point with it. Okay, so I have like this is about
2 kilos.
no, it's 1 kilo of filleted fish. I'm doing 1 kilo because we're a family of 5. We're big. So if you want to make it smaller, just half everything, okay? Half all the ingredients, it'll work. I've got 2 large onions, which I will use 1.5 now cooking with the fish, and the other half we will use it later. I'll show you for what later. We've got half a cup approximately of toasted almonds. I've got a teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of red pepper. In here we have half a teaspoon of cumin, half a teaspoon of mixed peppers, mixed spice peppers. And here I have half a teaspoon of turmeric powder. Over here I have 2 cups of rice, parboiled or American rice if you want, long grain, soaking in water. We leave that for about 10 minutes just so it can soak up some of the water, the rice, and it will become like a full piece of rice in the cooking. Okay, and then with the cooking, when you have 2 cups of rice, you put 3 cups of clean water for cooking. Okay, so first of all, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna get the fish and we're gonna chop it. Just make sure there's no bones in here. We're gonna chop it into pieces. Just like that. Just 1 second. Okay, and like this. Just checking for the bones. Sometimes in the fillets they have bones in them. All right, so they're cubed. Keep this one whole. Just like that, that'll do. So this is what I'm actually using here is frozen Nile perch from Lake Victoria. You can use frozen hamour. Oh, you see, I found a piece of bone. I don't really like that other white fish, the one that's the mainstream in the shops. I find hamour or perch is the best way to go. Okay, now we're gonna douse it in a little bit of flour, just so it doesn't stick in the fry pan, because we are gonna fry them a little bit. You don't need to put salt in the flour because you're gonna have it salted anyway with the rice. Not too much salt, especially with me, I've got hypertension. Just leave it like that. Okay, and stop. Okay, so after we've dusted them with some flour, the fish, you're going to want to use the same saucepan that you're going to cook your rice in, okay, to fry the fish. Because what we want to do is take all the flavor from the oil and whatever remains from cooking the fish here, it will give flavor to the rice later. So what I've done is I've put about 4 tablespoons of cooking oil. Put the fish in here. And just fry them till they take a bit of color. Just like that. Okay, I've turned them over. They fried for around 3 minutes. Now we're doing the other side. Also 3 minutes. Now what happens is they're not going to fully cook through, but we're going to continue the cooking with the rice. So don't worry if they're still like a little bit raw, okay? Soon we'll have to take them out. If you're finding it hard, if they get stuck, leave them a little bit longer in the pot, or use a spatula to kind of like pull them out a little bit gently, okay? Okay, now that we've fried our fish up, this is the color you should have. It may look burnt or dark brown in there. It's okay. And if you find that the oil has like been absorbed by the fish, just put a little bit more in, because we're going to fry up the onions. Okay, so this is all flavor in here now. So like I said, we're going to use like a 1.5. I'm going to do this much of the onion, which we're going to use later again, okay? I'm going to fry this up. We need to give it color. So, you know, like scrub up all that flavor at the bottom from the fish. You're going to have to do this for a while, so you'll need to be patient, because it will need to turn a little bit brownish red, okay? Okay, so this is what your onions fried up should look like. So you can see that they have turned golden brown and darker than that. This is flavor, guys, so don't think you've burnt anything unless you've turned them black, okay? So we haven't turned them black. Okay, but we've taken all the flavors from after cooking the fish, they've gone into the onions. Now we're going to add the rice. Like I said, if you're like 2 persons, 3 persons, you can put 1 cup of rice. Sorry, give it a little bit of a mix. I love the smell of fried onions. Just like that. Now we're going to add all the spices I told you about in the beginning. Everything's going to go in now. So we got the turmeric. We've got the cumin and the peppers. And we've got the salt and the red pepper. Give it another stir. Oh, it smells gorgeous. You can't know unless you try. So I'm telling you, it smells gorgeous. Give it a try and you'll say the same thing to me. Good looking color. And the water. So I kind of learned this from my sister who lives in Sultanate Oman, because I never used to know how to cook rice properly. That for every 1 cup of rice, you got to put 1.5 cups of water. But being that it's long grain, I think it will need some more. I think for every 1 cup, we might need to put 2 cups, because I know that I'm usually have to put my water a finger above the rice. Like, that's not a finger above the rice yet. So I'm going to put some more. Hold on for me 1 second. I think her rule of thumb was for basmati rice. So sorry, sis. Okay, yeah, that looks better. So what we do now, we cover it up, leave it about 10 minutes. We're going to start it boiling. Once it starts boiling, we leave it another 5 minutes, and then we're going to add all our fish into the rice and let it continue cooking together. We'll be back. Okay, so there's a optional sauce that you can make with your fish and rice. It's called a tahini sauce, which is made from sesame paste. Okay, it's very, very simple, but you're going to be patient. So you're going to need some sesame paste, some drinking water, and lemon juice. Okay, now I'm going to make a little bit because my kids don't like it that much. Usually just my husband and I like it. You usually pour it after you finish. You put it over your fish. It gives a bit of flavor to it. So I'm going to make about half a cup of tahini, which is about that much. And what you do is you add water, not too much, a little bit of water, and stir. Stir until they combine. It gets a bit cement-like. And then put again water. A little bit at a time. Ooh, splashed a little bit. So you need it a little bit smoother than that. We're nearly there. So it's almost taken a cup of water. Now we just start adding a little bit of water, not too much, because we don't want to be too runny. This is what the consistency is that we want. It's like a milkshake consistency. Not too thick, not too thin. Okay, and now you'll add about, we like lemon here, about a tablespoon and a half of lemon. You can put a tablespoon, you can put less, depending on how much you like lemon. Let me get this off my hands, wipe this down a little bit. It's not nice for you guys to see that. Always taste your food to make sure that you have all the right seasoning in it. So just do that. I could do with a little bit more lemon. And it's going to need salt. Let me just add a bit of salt to that. And that's it. This will later be served with the fish. Okay, everyone. While we're waiting for the rice to be done, to boil, the leftover onions I told you about, we're just going to fry them in a little bit of olive oil. And now we're going to let these like turn red, like a dark brown red. We'll try not to burn them, okay? This is going to be the garnish on top of the rice when we finish. So if we do it now and just leave it, it's okay. It's not necessary for it to be hot, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead now and fry these off, and I'll show you the results. Okay, so now our rice has been boiling for about 8 minutes. I had my stove on high. I've turned it down now. Okay, so what we're going to do now, I forgot to tell you, you're going to need about a half a lemon juiced, okay? So that's more than half. I'm just going to blindly measure. Okay, mix it in, because you know fish loves lemon. Okay, and then we're going to put the fish in, and they'll continue to cook with the rice now and give flavor to the water. Come here. So now, this is our onion that we're using for the garnish. This is what you want to see, so you've got to keep stirring it up a little bit. This takes a little bit long, so we'll just keep it going. Okay, so this is what your fish and rice should look like. This took about 20 minutes to cook. I cooked it on low and let it take its time to cook slowly, and the rice is well done. Now, to serve, and put it into a nice plate. While I was cooking it, I did taste it to see if it needed any more salt, and I did add a little bit more salt to it. See those big pieces of fish? It's another nice meal to make for the family on a Sunday. There you go, just like that. Ooh. Okay, I did add a little bit of lemon juice to the rice also, which I told you about. Okay, these are our onions. Okay, they look black, but they're not actually burnt, okay? And what we do is just sprinkle that on top. Okay, you can say they're like nearly burnt. Okay, and then we'll put the toasted almonds. You can put pine nuts if you want. Cashews, toasted cashews are yummy too. Just like that. And let me just move these out of the way. So this is fish with rice with its tahini sauce. I've made a side of artichoke with lemon and oil. And I've made a side salad also of cabbage, which is made with a dressing of olive oil, lemon juice, and some salt. That's really yummy. And some garlic in that one too. And yum, guys. Enjoy.